Most firearm instructors think they need better ads, better sales skills, or more followers to make more money. But the truth is this: if your offer sucks, none of that other stuff matters. The fastest way to multiply your revenue is to create an offer so good that people feel stupid saying no. And this is where you stop being a commodity and start being the only option that makes sense. And when your offer is dialed in, your ads convert better. Your referrals, the people that talk about you in word of mouth, they grow stronger. And your students show up more committed than ever. So by the end of this video, you're gonna know how to build offers that cut through noise and instantly grab attention so you no longer have to compete on price. I'm gonna show you how to sell to the right people so that your work pays you 10 to 100 times more for the same amount of effort. I'm gonna show you how to charge premium prices without hesitation and actually have your clients thank you for it. I'm going to show you how to reverse engineer value so that you always win the comparison game, even when others try to undercut you. I'm going to show you how to use scarcity, urgency, and bonuses to drive action, fill your classes, and keep the momentum going. And this framework is the single biggest lever that you can pull to grow your firearms business. And once you master this and the techniques that are in this video, everything else is going to come easier to you. And when I was just starting out, I spent thousands of dollars on marketing that didn't work. I twirled signs on the side of the road, literally. I handed out flyers, even ran radio ads. None of it filled my classes. People would glance, shrug, walk away. But when I finally built an irresistible offer with a direct response marketing funnel, everything changed. My backyard shooting range went from empty to waitlisted. Students were no longer hesitating or shopping around looking for the best price. They were racing to enroll. And that's how I trained over 30,000 students and built a $1 million training business. And the difference wasn't ads, it was the offer. And once I nailed it, every other part of my business multiplied. So here's the roadmap through this video. First, we're going to talk about how to nail the offer, then pick the right people, then charge what you're worth, reverse engineer the value. Section number one, the first thing that we need to talk about is the most important thing we need to nail, because if we don't get this right, nothing else matters. An offer is not just the product. It's the way that you package it, the way that you position it, the way that you present it. And a weak offer forces price-driven decisions, which means customers are going to compare your price to your competition and choose whoever's cheaper. That's not the target market. That's not our customer. We want the people that don't just want a piece of paper or don't just want a concealed carry permit. We want people that want serious training. A strong offer makes price irrelevant because it creates unique, undeniable value that only you can give. And that's the most important part of this, is that if you create an offer that only you can provide, people can't look at your competition and see what they're charging. So I'm going to give you an example with a $99 concealed carry class that I mistakenly started marketing when I got into this gig. Because think about this $99 class for a second. $99 concealed carry class, what you're going to get is your concealed carry permit, right? The reason that I struggled to fill classes is because it was just another class. But when I reframed it as a membership experience with perks, community, ongoing training, exclusive VIP invitations, it transformed from just a class to a movement. And suddenly students weren't just buying a seat in a class that they had to sit through. They were buying into an identity, into a movement, into something that's going to impact their families and their community. So the class was able to sell out consistently in my waiting list, and that's the power of nailing the right offer. So the second part we need to go into is we need to choose the right people. We need to choose the right people. So it's not just about the offer, but it's about who you sell that offer to. The exact same training can be worth pennies for one group of people and a fortune to another. I've taught soccer moms who barely want to be there at all, and I've taught leaders who turned into loyal ambassadors for the brand. The difference wasn't what I was teaching. It was who I put the ad or the target in front of. And when you target the right people, the right buyers, target people with pain or fear, target people with purchasing power, the ability to spend money, and purpose, you can 10x your return. For example, training a new shooter who's nervous and price sensitive may net you, it might get you a one-time sale, right? So if you just get that person that needs the concealed carry license maybe you make $99 over the course of 12 months, right? Maybe you make $99 over 12 months, okay? And so that student is worth $99 to your business over the next year. But if you're training a motivated father, let's say, who wants to lead and protect his family, that may lead to referrals, repeat classes, memberships, gear purchases, right? So the same hour of effort that it takes for you to train somebody for $99 can lead you to, $300 over the course of over 12 months, or $900 over the course of 12 months, because what you're catering to are not the people that just want a piece of paper, but people who actually have a pain point, right? This is going to give you radically different returns because this is leverage and it comes from choosing the right people. So how do we identify the right people? Start with these filters. Number one, we've got to start finding people with some sort of pain or fear, right? Some sort of pain or some sort of fear that they're feeling. Do they actually have a problem that they feel deeply all the time? Like the casual hobbyist or the person that just wants a piece of paper. They're not motivated. But a mom who feels vulnerable in the parking lot because she works late, because she's a nurse at the local hospital and she has to leave the hospital at 2 a.m. to get to her car, walk through this really long, creepy driveway or, whatever, right? This is somebody who really wants to not feel vulnerable anymore. She wants that car to the parking lot, that walk in the parking lot to feel calm and secure and comfortable, right? So let's talk about the second thing, which is purchasing power, right? I get a lot of slack for this. A lot of people sit there and think, well, I want to serve my entire community. Amen to that. The Second Amendment and self-defense applies to every living human, regardless of race, religion, country of origin, right? The ability and the requirement for you to have self-defense applies to every human equally. And so we want to serve every human. But if our business doesn't make money, we can't serve anybody. So what we can do is we can find people with purchasing power, the ability to spend money on your training. And then once our business is extremely profitable, we can start giving seminars and training to lower income as a kind of pro bono work, right? But we can't do that if we're not making money, right? So another example is that a broke college kid, they might want training, but they can't commit to that. They don't have the money. A working professional can invest without hesitation. So some of my ads say things like nurses, doctors, teachers, right? Things that, places that we know that there's a steady income, and I'll market specifically to people with buying power, right? So the third thing that we want to look for are people who want a sense of purpose in their lives, right? Are they driven by something bigger? Someone who sees themselves as a protector, that they're called by God to be a provider or a leader, and they're going to treat your training like a mission, not just a product. And then another thing that we want to look for are people that want potential growth, right? People that want to grow and invest in themselves. Is your community likely to multiply your impact? Some buyers are gateways, right? Like churches, real estate events, business owners, community influencers who are going to bring others along with them, or, they've got a nice platform to tell others about you. So think of the story of my early Alliance membership. This is a membership that I sold at the end of every class. Some students, paid once and then disappeared. They never showed up again, but others joined the membership, came back month over month and brought friends with them. They didn't just buy training. They bought into the tribe idea. And those are the people that you want to multiply in your business. And I also want to give you a word of warning to the hidden cost of choosing the wrong people. Cheap students drain you. They ask endless questions or don't show up at all. They're going to argue with you about things in your class. The quality of the customer is less, taking your time and reducing the experience in your class. I know this firsthand. These people are the ones that are going to no-show first, and they're going to show up at the last minute, leave early, take phone calls, right? Meanwhile, the right people are going to respect your time, pay you gladly, and see you as the leader. So there's no way to argue with the representative authority on the subject matter, which is you. And they're going to spread the good word after the class. One of those good students can be worth 10 of the wrong ones. And that's saying no. I mean, the power of saying no is just as powerful as saying yes. And clearing out low-value buyers makes room for high-value champions in your business. So remember, success is not just about building a better mousetrap. It's about placing it where the mice actually are and the mice that are hungry for your product. So I want you to start aiming your energy at the people who will get the most value from what you do so that you can feed and nurture a larger audience. And they're going to pay more. they're going to stay longer and multiply your reach. So section number 3, we need to talk about charging. I want you to charge what you're worth. Price is not just a number, it's a signal to buyers. The more people pay or the higher price the product is, the more people value it and the more likely they are to succeed, right? A low price gives people low commitment, more no-shows, more excuses, more refunds, right? Well, a higher price gives more commitment, better results, loyal customers who are actually going to follow through. And when I raised my prices, I didn't lose students. I gained better ones. They showed up early, took notes, referred friends. They were invested because the price demanded respect. When people see something that's cheap, they feel like it's going to be a cheap solution. When people see something that's expensive, they look at it in a different light. The price alone brings a lot of the value. And here's the great part about this is that the higher my price went, the better my students' results got. So in between lessons, they actually went to the range and practiced. They didn't just see it as another class, they saw it as a transformation that was worth committing to. That's the virtuous cycle of premium pricing. And I'm going to write this down because I want you to really focus your business on premium pricing. Premium pricing is going to bring premium students. Think about it this way. When someone buys a $50 class, they treat it like it's optional. If they had a long day at work, they don't show up to the lesson. The money wasn't enough to hold them accountable if it's cheap. But when someone invests $500, $1,000, or even more, they move mountains to be there at your class. They're not going to cancel. They change their schedule around your training. They don't waste the opportunity. The price itself creates the commitment. So premium pricing also changes how clients look at you and your business, because at a bargain price, you're just another option on the list. At a premium price, you're positioned as the VIP, the expert, the authority. The person that chooses to drive the BMW is because they want to be seen as the person that drives the BMW. They want people to see them as that. And so positioning yourself as the expert and the authority, you're the one who must have something different if you are going to charge that much. Students assume that the quality is higher because before they even step into the classroom, they assume that your product is better. And that perception becomes reality the moment they actually show up eager to learn, because part of my method in my book, the Age 30K method, is that we need to give them the best possible experience, an experience that only you can provide. But there's also another hidden benefit of high-paying students, and that's that they're easier to work with. They're going to respect your boundaries, value your time, and they often become your best testimonials. But low-paying clients tend to be the most demanding, draining, least committed. Raising your price doesn't just boost your profit, it improves your entire teaching experience and the experience of all the other students in the class. And I've seen this play out again and again. The students who paid more get better results, not because my curriculum magically has changed, but because their mindset did. They had more skin in the game, so they practiced more at home with their dry fire skills. When they showed up to the next lesson, they were prepared. They practiced longer. They followed through with what I taught. And their investment transformed them before the first rounds were even fired. So don't be afraid to charge what your offer is really worth, and understand that the right students will pay it and they'll thank you for it. And by charging more, you create the margin to deliver more value. Better facilities. You can have better facilities and better resources, better support. It's a cycle that feeds itself, because the more you charge, the better and more you can deliver. The better and more you can deliver, the more you can charge. That's the virtuous cycle that you want to be in. Section number 4, I want to talk to you about reverse engineering value. Value isn't vague, it's a formula. And the formula is this: dream outcome times the perceived likelihood. Value isn't vague, it's a formula. Your dream outcome times your perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. And you might be saying, whoa, Andy, that's crazy. Okay, but I'm going to explain that. This equation shows you the 4 levers that you can pull to make your offer more attractive. Number 1, increase the dream outcome. Okay, don't just sell a class, sell the future vision of your students and help them picture themselves walking out confident, safe, proud to be the protector that they've been dreaming about. Make the destination that they're going to go very vivid. Carrying with confidence, leading with authority, or being the one that their loved ones count on when this stuff matters. The bigger and more meaningful the dream outcome, the more valuable your offer becomes. So the second element is boosting the perceived likelihood of achievement, okay? People don't just buy the dream, they buy their belief that you're the one that can get them to the dream, right? So they're buying into you because they're believing that you're the only one that can get them to that dream. That's the perceived likelihood that what they're investing in is actually going to get them to their dream outcome. Okay, so this is what people are doing when they buy from you, is that they're saying, I believe that you can get me there. So this is a really, really important part, and this is why social proof matters. So you're going to share testimonials, success stories, real life examples. So when I told students that I'd already trained over 30,000 students, it wasn't bragging, it was reassurance. That was my proof. The idea that they were thinking is, if all those other people succeed, I can too. Your credentials, your experience, your track record, all of those increase the perceived likelihood of success. The next step is to shorten the time delay. Okay, people want results now, not someday. And if you can engineer quick wins into your program, you're going to build that belief immediately. For example, in my classes, students often walk out on day one already feeling more capable than when they walked in. Everything is hands-on. So they're 100% hands-on the entire time. It's not theory that I'm training, it's physical hands-on drills. So that instant confidence keeps them coming back for more long-term journeys, right? So ask yourself, how can I collapse? How can I reduce the amount of time for my students? And how can I get them a result that they can feel immediately on day one? Okay? And the last thing is effort and sacrifice. I want you to reduce the amount of effort and sacrifice. The easier you make it, the more people say yes. Step-by-step training, hands-on training, checklists that they go home with, these all reduce friction. And if a student feels like your process will be confusing, time-consuming, or exhausting, they're going to hesitate. And if they feel like it will be simple, guided, and achievable, they're going to lean in and do more. So show them how you've made the path clear and easy to follow. And here's the key. Every lever that you pull here adds weight to the value side of the scale. So if you think about this formula, and you think about a lever, you want to move value over here, and here's your lever. All of these points are part of your value. So you don't have to perfect all four, but the more you stack these, the more undeniable you make your offer become. A massive dream outcome. So a massive dream outcome plus strong perceived likelihood, strong proof, delivered fast with little sacrifice or effort. That's when saying no feels impossible. The last thing that we're going to talk about is, I love this point a lot, because even with a great offer, you need fuel to drive urgency. Otherwise, people procrastinate. We need to give them a reason to sign up and do this today rather than later. And if you're just giving a class, they can always sign up later because you have classes every Saturday, right? So here's how to stack the deck. Number one is limiting the seats to only 20 slots, right? 20 seats available. So number one is scarcity, right? So like limiting your seats to only 20 slots, or even better, limiting to like 4 slots, right? People move when they fear missing out. Fear of missing out is a big mover. Scarcity can also be created through exclusivity, such as a VIP tour, right? VIP tier rather, or a private something along those lines that only VIPs can get access to. Private training sessions only available to VIP members. When people know it won't always be there, they act. Number two is urgency. Limited time, or enrollment closes on Friday. Deadlines drive action, but only if you follow through and carry out those deadlines. Without urgency, people say, maybe later. But with urgency, they say, I need to decide right now. I need to make a decision right this second. So tie your urgency to real deadlines, class start dates, bonus expirations, or seasonal offers. The more real it feels, the faster people are going to commit. Number three, guarantees. Guarantees shift risk off the buyer. For instance, if you don't feel more confident after day one, I'll give you your money back. Guarantees break down the fear of wasting money. And the stronger the guarantee that you have, the more comfortable people feel saying yes. You can offer a satisfaction guarantee, a results-based guarantee. Like if you're not shooting 10s on every challenge by the end of class, you'll get your money back. Or even a conditional guarantee. Like I've seen Alex Hormozi do a weight loss challenge that refunded students if they hit their goal, right? So he charged $600, and if the student lost 20 pounds, they got a refund. And they got their money back, which is amazing because that invited them to take that $600 and reinvest in a $1,200 program that was guaranteeing even more weight loss, right? It was a phenomenal discount that he's ever had and one of the best offers ever in the weight loss category. So guarantees show that you stand behind your offer. And the last thing is bonuses. Bonuses are huge. You want to stack the extras until the value feels undeniable. Add a toolkit, a private Q&A, a bonus training session. Bonuses should solve related problems that your students might not even know that they have. Think of these as accelerators, things that help them get results faster, easier, or at a deeper level. The more bonuses that you pile on that feel directly useful to the desired outcome, the more people think, I'd be crazy not to take this. So for instance, when I launched my book, The Age 30K Method, students aren't just getting a book, they're getting toolkits, community, VIP upgrades, and even entry into exclusive giveaways. It's not just a purchase, it's an event that they're joining, right? It's a toolkit that they're buying, not just a book. And so limiting scarcity by reducing the amount of VIP slots open and urgency, creating deadlines to pre-order, things like that, guarantees. So for instance, a money back guarantee on everything that I sell. I mean, that's a huge important thing. The bonuses, the toolkits, the raffles, the live streams, all of these layers were stacked until the value was overwhelming. And it made somebody say, you know what? Not buying that book would be stupid. It's a stupid decision not to buy the book. And that's why I've sold so many, right? So here's the lesson that I want you to walk away with. Number one is never rely on your core offer alone. It's not just a class. Even if it's a great offer, people need a reason to act now. Scarcity, urgency, guarantees, and bonuses are the multipliers that make your irresistible offer impossible to ignore. So a quick recap. Offers are more important than marketing because if you get the offer wrong, nothing else works. Sell to better buyers. It's the same amount of effort that you're going to put into your business, but you're going to get 100 times the return. Number three, price signals value. Don't undercharge or you'll attract the wrong clients and you'll be limited to the amount of people you can help because you might even be out of business. Number four, value equation rules all. Focus on the dream outcome, the perceived likelihood of success, the time that it's going to take to get there, and the effort they're going to have to put in. And the last one, number five, scarcity and urgency and bonuses. These drive conversions and momentum. Master these principles and your business will grow faster and more predictable than you ever thought possible.